As a history geek, if there's a territorial organization I've become obsessed with, it's Spain's. In fact, by the way, I'm living here in Spain. Each of the 17 autonomous communities has a fascinating history and can trace its origin to some kind of entity that existed in the past. Wow, so Spain is a confederation of several extinct countries, and today we'll look at them one by one. Are you interested? Alright then, stay until the end of the video. Parenthesis, since we talk about history on this channel, let me tell you a story. In 2010, Bitcoin was a digital currency worth just 1 cent. The Bitcoin programmer Laszlo Hayens made history by buying 2 Papa John's pizzas for 10,000 Bitcoin. At that time, the transaction was worth about $41. Today, those 10,000 Bitcoin are worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Wow, it really grew. Recently, Bitcoin surpassed $100,000, marking a key moment in its 15-year history. And let me tell you, the forecasts for 2025 are mind-blowing. Although the price has dropped slightly, this means that smart people like you and me will buy it because it will go up again. What we need to focus on is on finding a reliable broker to invest with, and I already have mine, Pocket Broker. Let me explain 3 simple steps to earn $100 in Bitcoin. 1. Download the app and register. 2. Open your first trade. Check back in a couple of hours and that's it. You have your $100 with your first profit. Try this time with my promotional code MAPA12. One of the things I regret the most is not buying Bitcoin in 2010, which would now be worth thousands. The registration process on Pocket Broker is easy and simple. You can do it with your email, Google, or Facebook in just a few clicks. Today I have a special gift for you. With my promo code MAPA12, you'll receive a bonus on your first deposit. What an excellent way to start with this boost. When you want to withdraw your winnings, you'll have many secure options, bank transfers, e-wallets, or maybe with cryptocurrencies. You can access your funds quickly and securely, with 0% commission on withdrawals, 24/7 support, and more than 130 assets with returns of up to 92%, including currency pairs, indices, stocks, and cryptocurrencies. Available 24 hours a day. Pocket Broker is the ideal platform for you to start earning money today. What are you waiting for? Sign up for Pocket Broker with the link I'll leave in the description and the first comment. Don't forget to use my code MAPA2 to get the bonus you deserve. Thank you! Let's start from the northwest end. Galicia was in the past the Kingdom of Galicia, which was never an independent state in absolute political terms, but was linked to the Kingdom of Leon and later to Castile. However, it always maintained an identity based on its language, Galician, which has a close relationship with Portuguese and is still official in the community. 3,011 people still speak Galician. The Principality of Asturias can trace its origin to the Kingdom of Asturias, the first Christian state on the Iberian Peninsula, founded by Don Pelayo, who would begin the reconquest against the various Muslim states. Asturias did not die as such, but rather transformed into the Kingdom of Leon, maintaining the same dynasty and legitimacy. Its language, Asturian, currently classified as Astur-Leonese, still has about 200,000 native speakers in the community. Cantabria owes its name to the Cantabri, a group of pre-Roman tribes, probably of Celtic origin, who lived in the current autonomous community. Although there was a Duchy of Cantabria, it was a province of the Visigoth kingdom that did not correspond to present-day Cantabria. This was created in 1981 more by political decision than because of its medieval history. The Basque country, or Ebuskadi, was also not formed in the past as a unified state, but in any case, its origin is fascinating. The Vasconis, a group unrelated to the Celts or Iberians, had their own language, which is still spoken today. Can Basque speakers boast of speaking the only surviving pre-Indo-European language in Europe? Its origin is related to our next autonomous community. The Chartered Community of Navarre has its origin in the Kingdom of Navarre, which was, in turn, the continuation of the Kingdom of Pamplona. Navarre was the last kingdom in present-day Spain that remained independent from the Union of Castile and Aragon. It had its own language, the Navarro-Romance, which is now extinct. Basque also had official status, since part of the Navarrese nobility had Basque origins, including the founder of Pamplona, Eneco Arista. Navarre was officially annexed to the Hispanic monarchy in 1512. We arrive at La Rioja, probably the autonomous community with the least history on this list. A Riojan entity never existed in the past, and its territory was divided between Castile and Navarre for centuries. In 1833, during the territorial reform devised by Javier de Burgos, the province of Logroño was created. And it wasn't until 1982 that its Statute of Autonomy was approved, making it the last single province community to be formed. From here, we would talk about the states that made up the Crown of Aragon. The current Aragon had its origin in the Kingdom of Aragon, which in turn emerged after the fusion of several counties from the Hispanic March. It had its own language, the Aragonese, which unfortunately is in danger of extinction since it is spoken by only about 30,000 people. The decisive point in the history of this community is the union of Petronila of Aragon with Ramón Berenguer, the fourth Count of Barcelona, a dynastic union that gave rise to the Crown of Aragon. Which brings us to our next community, Catalonia, which, as even the least educated know, its language is the second most spoken in Spain. Within the Crown of Aragon, there was the Principality of Catalonia, which in turn was also the fusion of various counties that emerged from the Hispanic March. Don't be confused by its status as a principality, because thanks to its access to the sea, Catalonia had more economic weight than Aragon within the crown. This is one of the reasons why Catalan spread more than Aragonese itself. If there is one figure who stands out in the history of the Crown of Aragon, it's Jaime the Fierce the Conqueror, who in 1231 began the conquest of Mallorca. Yes, we have moved to the Balearic Islands. After the expulsion of the Muslims from the Almohad Empire, the Kingdom of Mallorca was founded, which became the base for Aragon's expansion into the Mediterranean. Did you know it reached as far as Sicily and Greece? Later, Ibiza and Menorca were conquered, the latter being occupied by the British for almost a century. Jaime the Simple also undertook the conquest of the Taifa of Valencia in 1238, one of the Muslim kingdoms created after the end of the Caliphate of Cordoba. Yes, now we're talking about the Valencian community. During the era of the Crown of Aragon, this community was established as the Kingdom of Valencia. I'm opening up a controversy. Valencian was its official language. Is it an independent language from Catalan? I don't know, let me know in the comments, as even others not so educated know. The Hispanic monarchy was formed after the union of the crowns of Aragon and Castilla. So the name of the latter, which set out to conquer America, had to be present in two of the largest autonomous communities. The northern part is known as Old Castile, the original medieval core that included Burgos, Segovia, Soria, Avila, and Valladolid. After a series of dynastic unions, Leon officially merged with Castile in 1230. To this day, there are attempts to separate them into two autonomous communities. As for Castilla-La Mancha, which represents New Castile, conquered during the Reconquista, it has a greater Muslim and Mozarabic influence. Probably Don Quixote is its greatest symbol of identity, and you can see it everywhere. Yes, the separation between the two Castiles is more cultural and about identity than geographical. It turns out that Castile had a third division. Madrid has been the capital of Spain since Felipe II moved the court to this city from Toledo. The reason was its central position, which had good access to all the peninsular kingdoms. In 1833, Madrid was consolidated as an independent province within New Castile, and in 1983 it became a single province autonomous community. Although today it is one of the smallest, with 8.028 square kilometers, it is the third most populated community. 1 out of every 7 of us is Hispanic American, by the way. We arrive at the conquistadors' land. Extremadura comes from the Latin Extremadura, meaning beyond the Duero River, and it was considered a no-man's land between Christians and Muslims. The existence of its two provinces, Cáceres and Badajoz, came about with the 1833 reform by Javier de Burgos. In 1983 is when it obtained autonomous status. Something these two provinces have in common is being the land of Cortés and Pizarro and their low level of industrialization. Let's move to the eastern coast. The region of Murcia was once the Taifa of Murcia, that is one of the Muslim kingdoms that broke away from the Caliphate of Córdoba. Its conquest by Castile took place in the mid-13th century. Thus, the Kingdom of Murcia was born, belonging to the Crown of Castile, and which existed nominally until the provincial division of 1833. Andalusia is the most populous autonomous community and the second largest in Spain. Its name comes from Al-Andalus, which is the toponym by which the Muslims knew the Iberian Peninsula. The most important Muslim states were centered in Andalusia, such as the Caliphate of Cordoba or the Kingdom of Granada. During the Christian era, there was no Kingdom of Andalusia, but there were the kingdoms of Sevilla, Cordoba, Jaén, and Granada. The community of Andalusia, as we know it today, was born in 1980, although the 8 provinces that make it up today were created with the division of 1833. Finally, we have the Canary Islands, the original territory of the Guanches, whose conquest was completed by the Catholic monarchs in 1483. Due to their insular condition, separated from the rest of the peninsula, the Canary Islands remained geographically apart from the rest of Spain. Therefore, their delimitation in 1833 was simpler. And that's it. We've finished with the origin of the 17 autonomous communities of Spain. As you can see, each of them holds in its memory the past of various states and historical entities, which reminds us how incredible, complex, and diverse the history of the motherland is. Which of Spain's autonomous communities do you find the most interesting? Don't forget to leave your comment and subscribe to the channel. I'll also include my social media links in the description. And in case you want to watch the new videos in the premiere and have more interaction with me, your donations on Patreon, Una Manito Net, or channel memberships are welcome. See you next time.